The following podcast may not be for all listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
In the cold depths of time, some moments defy explanation, moments that tear holes in our understanding of reality itself. In this episode, I'll guide you through these shadows. We will step into a spring dawn that stained the skies of Nuremberg blood red. The year was 1561, and what hundreds of terrified witnesses saw that morning would haunt their nightmares until their dying day. Some say it was a sign from God, others whisper of darker things. But one thing is certain, after that dawn, nothing in Nuremberg would ever be the same. Welcome to Unexplained Realms. I hope you're not listening alone. Dawn was just breaking over the medieval city of Nuremberg, Germany. The date was April 14th, 1561. As the first hints of sunrise began to paint the sky between 4 and 5 a.m., the citizens of this prosperous trading town were about to witness something that would shake their understanding of reality to its very core. Germany's skies have long been a theater of the impossible. Since the days of the Roman Empire, ancient chroniclers filled their broadsheets with tales that would chill modern blood. Fire that rained from heaven, suns that split into two, and storms that wept crimson tears. The Germans had a name for these celestial horrors, Wunderzeichen. Translated, it simply means miracles. These weren't the gentle wonders of saints and angels. These were the kind of miracles that made peasants bar their doors and priests clutch their crucifixes. The kind that reminded humans just how small they were in a universe filled with mysteries that defied explanation. Imagine, if you will, being one of these early risers. Perhaps you're a baker, preparing your morning bread, or a merchant setting up your stall in the market square. The sky began to fill with what witnesses would later describe as hundreds of objects. Blood-red spheres, black cylinders, and crosses engaged in what appeared to be an aerial battle above the city. Hans Glosser, a local artist and printer who documented the event in a famous broadsheet, described globes, circles, and tubes performing what seemed like an otherworldly dance in the morning sky. But this was no peaceful display. Witnesses reported these objects fighting one another. Large rods of various sizes darted between the spheres, while cross-shaped objects hovered ominously overhead. But here's where our tale takes on an even darker turn. As the citizens watched in terror, many of these objects reportedly began to fall from the sky, disappearing into the forests beyond the city walls, leaving a trail of smoke in their wake. Others seemed to burn up entirely, vanishing into the morning air as if they never existed at all. The spectacle ended with what witnesses described as the appearance of a large black spear-like object in the sky, followed by a tremendous crash that seemed to shake the very foundations of Nuremberg itself. Now, dear listeners, we must ask ourselves, what really happened over Nuremberg that spring morning? Some modern researchers suggest a rare atmospheric phenomenon, while others point to mass hysteria in a deeply religious age. But consider this. In an era when the fastest thing known to humanity was a galloping horse, how did hundreds of witnesses describe with such precision the complex aerial maneuvers we find documented in Hans Glosser's broadsheet? The people of Nuremberg interpreted this event as a divine warning, a celestial omen of things to come. But perhaps the truth is even stranger. Consider that this sighting occurred in one of the most sophisticated cities of the Holy Roman Empire, witnessed by merchants, artists, and craftsmen. People who made their living through careful observation and detailed work. What's particularly chilling about the Nuremberg incident is not just what was seen, but what was left behind, or instead, what wasn't. Despite reports of objects crashing in the surrounding forests, no physical evidence was ever found. It's as if whatever visited Nuremberg that morning simply vanished, leaving behind only questions that would puzzle humanity for centuries to come. The witnesses were convinced they'd seen the world's final dawn, and who could blame them? The ancient words of Revelation from the Bible seemed to spring life right before their eyes. The sun will be darkened and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from the sky and the heavenly bodies will be shaken. These weren't just words on parchment anymore. As the sky erupted into chaos above Nuremberg, many fell to their knees, convinced that the trumpet of judgment would sound at any moment. The final page of humanity's story was being written in the heavens, or so they thought. But what if those terrified souls witnessed something far stranger than the biblical apocalypse? Something that our modern minds still struggle to comprehend. Some believe there's a darker explanation lurking in the very bread they ate. A sinister fungus called Urgot. It turned their daily sustenance into a gateway to madness. They called it St. Anthony's fire, but we know it as Urgotism. Invisible tendrils of poison were threading through every loaf, every crust, every morning meal. The fungus would grip its victims' minds, twisting reality into nightmarish visions, making the impossible seem terrifyingly real. Their bodies burned with phantom fire while their minds painted horrors across the canvas of the sky. Could an entire city have fallen prey to this invisible enemy? Did hundreds of people share the same poisoned dream? Or does this rational explanation merely scratch the surface of what truly happened that spring morning in Nuremberg? It's hard to believe it was a hallucination caused by a fungus. Maybe. But when faced with the weight of evidence, even the most hardened skeptic must pause. Something moved across those skies. Something was seen. And whatever your beliefs about the supernatural, science, and the boundaries of our reality are, one cold fact remains. Hundreds of sober, rational people looked up that morning and witnessed something that shattered their understanding of what was possible. 5 years later, in 1566, the skies above Basel, Switzerland, erupted with the same inexplicable terror. Not a similar sighting. What the people of Basel witnessed was almost identical to what happened in Nuremberg. The same shapes, the same movements, the same battle raging in the heavens. Two cities, separated by hundreds of miles, witnessed phenomena so similar that it defied coincidence. If this was mass hysteria, how did it replicate itself with such chilling precision? If it was ergot poisoning, how did two separate grain supplies become affected? Perhaps the most disturbing of all, what if these weren't isolated incidents? What if these two documented cases were merely the ones that had survived history's selective memory? How many other towns, villages, and cities gazed up at their morning skies and saw something that defied explanation? Something they took to their graves, perhaps? If such an event happened today, we'd have thousands of smartphone videos, satellite imagery, and radar data. But in 1561, all we have is a single broadsheet and the written testimonies of hundreds of witnesses who went to their graves, never understanding what they saw that morning. Sometimes, dear listeners, the most terrifying mysteries are not those hidden in the darkness, but those that occurred in broad daylight, witnessed by an entire city, yet they remain in the unexplained realms. It finally happened. I waited forever to witness something in the sky, spending years trying to signal UFOs with my lighters. Recently, while enjoying a warm spring California evening with my husband outdoors, it appeared out of nowhere. A purple orb that hovered in the sky for a little under an hour. Obviously, I shared the photos with my exploratory team, and we will follow this episode up with a discussion about the things we see in the sky. I hope you'll join us. And so the mystery of Nuremberg remains. Was it mass hysteria, a natural phenomenon, or something more unexplained? Whatever crossed paths with Earth that day left us with one of history's most baffling aerial phenomena, which has been documented and whispered about for centuries. I guess some mysteries in our skies are better left unexplored, for what watches from above might be waiting for us to look up.